guys, I'm Becky from Book Bite Reviews, and today I am declaring my 20 in 20. In 2019, I missed the bandwagon to do 19 books that I want to read in 2019, so I did a 19 in 6, which was 19 books I want to read in 6 months. So now I can officially do the 20 books to read in 2020. I'm so excited to have a whole year to get this list done because I am struggling on my 19 in 6. It is a lot of books, and they were a lot of big books. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. This very first book is one that is not in my normal genre of reading, and that is Jump Cut by Max Allan Collins. This is a book that is inspired by one of my all-time favorite shows, Criminal Minds, and I'm very, very excited to check it out. I've always wanted to check out some of the books that have become my favorite TV shows, especially those that are about crime, thriller, scary stuff. This book did not create the TV show, it was the other way around, but I am very excited to check it out. So this is totally out of my comfort zone, which is also why I wanted to put it on my 20 in 20. I wanted to hold myself accountable to actually check it out. Some other ones that I'm definitely interested in trying out is the book that inspired Cerulean Isles, also the book that inspired Mindhunter on Netflix, things like that. So if you guys have read any of those books, let me know what you thought about them, but I'm going to be trying to read this book. To continue that trend, the next book is Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. This is the book that inspired the show True Blood, one of my all-time favorite shows. I will say the show does take a weird turn, and it wasn't the best for a little while, but I heard that the books are very different. I'm very excited to check them out. I think that my mom owns, not all of them, I think she only owns like maybe the first 2 or 3, so I do have her copy of book 1, and I'm going to try and read this book. I did try to read a different Charlaine Harris book, and it just wasn't for me. It was just way too much description, and I heard that that is her writing style, so we will see if I can get through it. Maybe I can find an audiobook. We'll see. Next is The Collector by Victoria Scott. This is a book that I've owned for a very long time. It is a YA paranormal that I'm very excited to finally check out. In this book, we have a character who is a bad boy soul collector. So when people are ready to die, he goes and collects their soul. Now, he doesn't ask a lot of questions. He has a very big ego. He knows that he is tough shit. And he has now been assigned to collect a soul. He doesn't know why, doesn't care why. But when he goes to collect this person's soul, he ends up having some feelings for this person. So I am very excited about this. I love bad boys. So I'm hoping that this book can finally get read, as I've owned it for a very long time. Next is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This book is the first one in a series, and I'm pretty sure that you can read the series in any order. I don't think that they follow each other. I think they're like their own standalone within a series kind of thing. But from my understanding, and I could be wrong, this is supposed to be a classic women's retelling with YA paranormal. And I do not enjoy classics. It depends on the reimagining that I will pick it up. I always pick up a Beauty and the Beast reimagining. But when I found out that these were YA paranormals, it really intrigued me. There's another one in the series, I can't remember the title, that really grabbed my interest, so I've decided to go ahead and check this one out. I really don't know anything about it other than it's a retelling, it is YA paranormal. That is honestly all that I need to know. Next is The Vincent Boys by Abbi Glines. This is a book that I have owned forever. I also believe that this is going to be a very big guilty pleasure book. In this book, we have a girl who is tired of being the good girl. So she decides to take life in her own hands and basically throw herself in the middle of a love triangle with 2 other guys. And those 2 other guys are also cousins. So I'm very excited to see where this book is going to take us. I heard that Abbi Glines can really write romance, so I'm very excited about it. I've owned it for so long. I'm just ready to read it. Next is The Cerulean by Amy Ewing. To be honest, when I first heard about this book, I had no intention of checking it out, but this year I did read Amy Ewing's Jewel series, and Wow, it absolutely blew me away. I really, really enjoyed Amy's writing style. I thought it was just fantastic, and she really knows how to write. So even though I wasn't exactly excited about this book and didn't plan on checking it out, after finishing that series, I'm willing to try it out. I'm excited to see if she can change my mind. Next is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. Now, I'm not going to go into what this book is about because everyone knows what this book is about. It has been all over BookTube, all over Instagram, all over everything. And that is because it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Now, the really cool thing is that it's supposed to be modern day retelling. Our main character, I believe, has cerebral palsy, so I'm excited to check it out. I did recently have a coworker come up to me and say that she read it, and she immediately thought of me and was like, you have to read it. So it is on my 20 and 20. I always intended to read this book, but just never made the time. So 2020 is going to be its year. Next is A Match Made in Mehendi, and I apologize if I get this last name wrong, but it is by Nandini Bajpai. In this book, our main character is from a long line of Indian matchmakers. When she accidentally sets up her cousins, her family is overjoyed that she has the gift of matchmaking. Our main character finally realizes that she can use her gifts and change her and her best friend's social status in high school. So she creates an app to matchmake people, and when she ends up pairing somebody who is more on the bottom of the totem pole with somebody in the high school hierarchy, she makes herself a target. I also think it's important that even if you are not exactly like that main character or that culture, you have an opportunity to learn about it, but still see yourself within it. And I'm just so excited to check out this book. I think it's going to be just full of hijinks and romance and everything that I love. So I'm very excited. Next is The Lovely Reckless by Amy Garcia. I love Amy Garcia's writing, and in either 2019 or 2018, I think it was 2018 actually, I had the chance to read one of her books, and it was a YA contemporary romance. I loved it. I devoured it. I just finally realized the amazing power that Amy Garcia has, and I've owned The Lovely Reckless for quite some time. I think that I might have the arc of it. I really, really need to read it. So it is on my 20 and 20. I honestly don't know what this book is about other than it being a YA contemporary romance. I think it might have something to do with like guy from the wrong side of the tracks kind of vibe, bad boy stuff, so it's honestly perfect. Next is The Glittering Court by Richelle Mead. I have been recommended this book and series so many times, so I'm finally making the time to read it. I know that this book is a YA fantasy with a court and kingdom. It also has some political intrigue. I believe that it has like the Jewel and the Selection kind of vibes, so I'm very excited to check it out. Like I said, I've been recommended it so many times. It sounds like something that I would really, really enjoy, so I'm going to make the time to read it in 2020. The next one is another book that I doubt I have to tell you anything about, and it is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli. This is a book that has been just absolutely beloved by the book community. Everyone has loved this book. I feel like I'm one of the last people to read it, but it is a YA contemporary romance, which is just one of my all-time favorites to read in between all of the very, very dark and fantastical books that I read. This also features a male-male romance. I'm just so excited to pick this up. I've heard that it's just so adorable and everything, so I need to read it. Next is Sadie by Courtney Summers. This is another book that has been all over the interwebs. I'm definitely going to be checking this book out on audio. It does have alternating points of view between our main character, who is on the hunt to kill the guy that killed her sister, I believe, and the other point of view is a podcaster who is following her and tracking what she is doing. I believe that is accurate. I'm so excited to check this out. I've heard amazing things about the audiobook and amazing things about this book in general, so it has been one that I've been wanting to read for a very long time. Next is House of Earth and Blood by J Maas. This is the first book in a new series from J Maas coming out in 2020. I'm so excited to check it out. To be honest, I don't remember anything about it, so I'm gonna look it up right now. Okay, so it looks like this book is a young adult, possibly new adult book that is a fantasy, but also a murder mystery thriller. So I'm very, very excited. Now I remember why I was so excited about it. Basically, there is a girl that finds herself in the middle of an investigation to find out who is killing all of these people. I think it's people, not just girls, but I could be wrong, even though I just read the description. I'm so excited to read it. I love crime mysteries, especially in YA, especially when they have some sort of paranormal or fantasy element. So, I mean, I already love Sarah J Maas, so let's just do it. Next is I Know You Remember by Jennifer Donaldson. This is another one that I don't remember too much about, but I'm not going to look it up because I think I'd rather go into this one blind. I first read a Jennifer Donaldson book last year, and it was my #1 book of 2018. I absolutely loved it, and when I saw that she was coming out with another one that was along those same dark YA mystery thriller vibes, I just signed myself up. Like I said, I would rather go into this blind, so I'm not going to read the description, and I'm just so excited. Next is the Kyuubi Bad Boy and Me by Tay Marley. This is a YA sports contemporary romance about a girl who falls for the bad boy who is also a quarterback. This is such the perfect guilty pleasure read for me. I'm not expecting like amazing high content, best book in the world kind of vibes from this book. It just is the perfect read for me. Like I said, I love reading romance books in between my dark YA, and I love bad boys, and this is just going to be like the best, hopefully cringy, guilty pleasure read that I'm looking for. Next is Truly Madly Royally by Debbie Rigaud. I am so excited about this book. I really wanted to read it for my book club. We do not have enough copies in the library system for me to do it, which I'm so mad about, but I'm going to read it on my own. This book follows a girl who falls in love with a boy who is actually a prince, and at first it doesn't faze her. I believe she doesn't know he's a prince until they're already together, and now it's time to meet his family. So she has to deal with all of the fame and attention that is put on her by dating somebody from the royal family. I'm planning on reading this book in February for Valentine's Day kind of vibes. I'm just so excited to start it. Next is Wild Crush by Simone Elkeles. I personally love Simone Elkeles' work. I haven't read one of her books in quite some time now, but this is book 2 to Wild Cards. I absolutely loved it. I can't really remember everything that happens in it, so I'm gonna have to reread it, which I'm not even mad about, but I cannot wait to pick up this book. I'm so excited because when I read that one, I remember like not being able to wait to read the next one, and then I didn't. So I'm gonna reread the first one and finally read the second book. Next is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This is the sequel to Serpent and Dove. I'm so excited about it. I have not looked to see if there is a cover for it, but I'm really hoping that it's just as beautiful as Serpent and Dove, because Serpent and Dove is probably my favorite cover of 2019. I absolutely love that book. I think it's so stunning. I also loved its content. It was an amazing book, and I just cannot wait to continue on. Next is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. This has been a book that I've been wanting to read since I think like the beginning of 2019. I've decided to pick it for my book club for my birth month, which is March. I'm so excited and ready to finally read this book. I definitely want to own it because the cover is stunning, so I also need to get my copy very soon, but I cannot wait. I really hope I end up loving it because my expectations are so high, so very high. And the final book in my 20 in 2020 is Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan. This is the sequel to Wicked Saints, which was, I'm gonna give you a hint that's gonna be on my top 10 this year. You can probably guess where it's going to land, but I absolutely loved this book so freaking much. I cannot wait to reread this book in anticipation of reading the next one. Why? Just because. That way I just remember every little thing. I don't think I need to reread the first one, but I just want to. That's how much I love it. And I cannot wait to find out what's going to happen next. It definitely ends on a very big cliffhanger, and I just can't wait. All right, guys, those are all 20 books that I'm planning to read in 2020. Those are all my big priorities for the year. I cannot wait to read them. A lot of them are new releases. A lot of them are books that I've owned forever, and I'm finally going to prioritize them in my life and read them. Definitely be sure to leave a comment telling me what books you are planning to read in 2020. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it and you want to see more bookish content from me, please hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified as soon as my videos go live here on YouTube, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!